much, everyone, for joining. Welcome to our first What's New webinar. This is something we're going to start hosting quarterly so we can keep you updated on all the feature improvements we're making, many of which are based directly on your feedback. So hopefully you'll see a lot of what you've requested reflected in what we're going to be talking about. So we can start with some introductions. My name is Katie. My colleague Desiree is here as well. And we're both on the product marketing team. So we work closely with our customers to understand their needs and any feedback they have on specific features. And then we provide that feedback to our product managers so they can make sure that they're developing products that really meet the needs and meet what you're looking to get out of the software. So as we go through the demos, feel free to add any questions into the Q&A tab that you can see on the right. And then the chat will also be live if you want to throw anything into there. We'll do our best to answer the questions as we go through the webinar. So here's an overview of what we'll be covering. We'll be starting with the rebrand, which is very exciting. Hopefully all of you have had a chance to take a look at it when you log into Houzz Pro. And then we'll go through updates to our planning tool. So that will include the room planner, mood boards, documents, and 3D floor planner. We'll talk about our project management tools like schedule, notifications, and time and expenses. And we'll have time at the end for questions, but also feel free to add them in as we go through. So let me get started here with an overview of the rebrand. Okay, so when you log into Houzz Pro now, you should see a new clean look. We're really excited about this. And basically, we redesigned Houzz Pro to be much more project-centric and intuitive with your workflow. So you can see, first thing is that the navigation panel is now on the left. So first we have the search, which works similarly to our other search panel. You can type in here if you're looking for anything on a specific project or any content that will pop up in there as well. When you click on projects, that's where you'll get the view of all of your projects, and it will be chronologically listed from the project you worked on most recently to the end. If you click on this plus new button up here, you can add a new project. And then if you click on the project icon, that will take you to the list of all of your projects. Same thing if you go to the leads icon. So here, this will give you a list of all of your leads. And if you click this button up here, you can add in a new lead. The company icon is where you can go to see your business overview, like financial reports or templates, as well as any work you have underway with collaborators. So if you've shared documents with team members or clients or vendors. And then marketing is also here. So that's how you can access your Houzz profile, your website, or email marketing. And then this gear icon here is settings. So that will help you access any of your company settings, like if you need to update online payments or your integrations, as well as your account settings. And then down here, we have some other important icons. This is your messages icon. If you're getting any new messages, I'll show here. This shows your notifications. This little clock is how you can track your time. So you can just do clock in if you're working on a specific project to clock your time there. And then the question mark, super important, is how you can access all of the Help Center content and all of our Learn content. So webinars, tutorials, etc., as well as the contact information for support. And then down here in your profile, you can also access your profile icon. One other thing I wanted to call out is this What's New in Houzz Pro page. So that's where we're keeping a running list of all of the feature updates that we're making. So of course, a lot of these we'll be covering on the webinar, but if you're ever just wondering what we've released the last few weeks or months, you can click here to filter by the date, specific features, or the plan type. So with that, I will hand it over to Desi, and she will start to go through some of the updates to our design tools.
Thank you so much, Katie, for this introduction. Just bear with me 1 second so I can get my screen share ready, and then we can start with the room planner. All right. I think you should see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started with the room planner. We have implemented some new updates here. One big update is that the room planner is not called room planner anymore, but it is called selections. You will find the selections entry point on the very top of your project navigation. So from now on, if you're looking for your room plans, you shouldn't be looking for the room planner anymore, but for selections. There are a few reasons that we have made these changes. Just to name you a few, this new naming, selections, captures the true essence of the feature, and it accurately mirrors how our interior designers use it to curate choices for their clients that result in selections eventually. Also, another aspect, another reason why we changed the name is that we heard that so many users got confused with the floor planner and the room planner. They were mixing up the feature, mixing up the names, so we thought it would be a very good choice to rename the room planner to selections. Important to note at this point that this name change will not affect the way you are using the feature at all, but just remember to not look for room planner anymore, but for selections in your project navigation. Now, another change you will see is that the project tracker does not have its own entry point in the project navigation anymore, but it has moved under selections, and you can find it here under the tracker. It is now called the selections tracker and not project tracker anymore. Again, this change also does not affect at all the functionality of the tool. It has just been relocated to better fit your workflow. So when you go through the selections process with your client with the boards, afterwards, you can easily see all the items in this convenient table view and track all their details. One important thing to note here is that the system will automatically save the last view that you have looked at. So let's say you have looked at the tracker the last time, and then you go do something else. Let's say, for instance, you look at your files and photos, and then you go back to selections. The tracker view is what will pop up because that's what you have last looked at, but you can easily switch between your boards and the tracker view. Now, one exciting addition we have made to the selections boards, we have introduced the ability to create sections. So you can organize your selections boards into groups. This can help make your boards more structured and visually more appealing to your client. To give you some ideas on how you can structure your boards with sections is you can sort them by product category, you can sort them by vendor, by trade, or however you prefer. So for instance, if we look at this board that I have created right now, you will see when I hover between the rows, you will see the small pop-up saying create new section. You can click there to create a new section, or you can also select all the items that you would like to group into one section. So for instance, let's say I want to group all the options that I've chosen for beds. I select them, I go to actions, and then I create a section here. Now you will see all the items that I have selected are captured within this section. I can give the section a title, let's say beds. You can also add a short description which your client can see. Then on the right side, you have some navigation options. You can collapse the section just to not overcrowd the whole board. Your client will also be able to approve or decline the whole section at once. Now in this example, it probably won't make much sense, but I think you know what I mean. And then, of course, you can also hide or delete a section. Now, just to keep the crowd engaged, maybe you can all go to the chat tab for a moment and leave some comments on how you see yourself using this functionality, or also just let us know how you like this new feature. In the meantime, Katie, are there any questions that came up that we would like to cover openly?
No, no questions yet. If you have any, feel free to throw them in the Q&A panel. Jennifer just says she loves it. Thank you, Jennifer. Good to hear.
Happy to hear. All right, okay, let's then move on to mood boards. Here also we've made a lot of great updates to the mood boards just to make them more useful to you, make them more flexible and more easily to navigate. One request that we have gotten so many times is for templates. Now they're finally available. We're very excited about this. Let me show you quickly how to create and how to use a template. If you want to create a new template, you would start the same way as you would start when you create a regular mood board. You create it from scratch. Now, for the demo purposes, I have already created my mood board. This is it. You can see I have added my footer and my logo. And this is the mood board that I want to save as a template now. So I go to Actions and I click Save as Template. Of course, I need to add a name also. You can just do that by editing and adding a name in line. So I go to Actions and save this one as a template. Once the template is saved, you will see in your overview, in the Getting Started section, that all the templates that you have created will show up here in this section. If you want to start from a template, you just click on it. And also you see when you hover over one of the templates, there are some options to manage all your templates. You can either edit it, rename it, or delete all your templates. Another update that we have made is to the background remover. As you will probably know, every item that you add to a mood board from the sidebar, the background will automatically be removed. Now you will have the option, or you already have the option, to decide yourself if you want this to happen or not. So this checkbox under this settings icon by default will be selected, but if you uncheck it, all the items that you are adding to your mood board, their backgrounds will not be removed automatically anymore. Also, just a reminder at this point that we also have our manual background remover. So when you click on an item, you can go to Edit Background, and here you have your brushes, and you can edit your images. Also, this is the spot where you would restore the background in case you would want to. Okay. Some more updates we have added to the mood board is we have introduced a lot of convenient shortcuts. We want to improve your overall navigation and the way you interact with your mood boards, make it more intuitive and for you to be able to work more efficiently. So now when you navigate within your mood boards for the zooming experience, zooming in and out of a mood board is now completely intuitive, and it reflects the same behavior that you know from other software such as Google Slides or PowerPoint. So on a Mac, for instance, you would push the buttons Control, Command, and scroll with your mouse. You can scroll to the left and right, to the top and bottom with your mouse cursor. Another shortcut that we have added is when you want to duplicate an item, you just select it and you click the D button. It would duplicate the item. Also, by pushing Command and Z, you can undo the last action. Also, Command C, Command V are some action items. There is a full list of shortcuts that we have added for you to be able to use. We will share the article with all the shortcuts with you shortly. But another shortcut that I want to point out explicitly is the ability to select multiple items at once. So if you click on one item and then push the Shift button, you can select all the items that you want to select and then move them all at once. All right, Katie, are there any questions for mood boards?
Not for mood boards. We do have one question back on selections from Sarah. Can you create a budget per section?
Not at this point, but this is coming very, very soon.
Awesome. Let me just see. No, just some really positive feedback, which is great. Maybe before we go on, Desi, we can do a quick poll just to shake it up a little bit. So we would love to hear from you how often you're using our help center. because that's something, we have a lot of great resources there, and we want to make sure that it's available for you and that you're aware of it. So we just launched a poll. You never use it, sometimes use it, or use it often. This will just help us make sure that we're locating it in the best position for you to find it and access it. So it looks like a good group of people are using it at least sometimes, sometimes or often. So that's great. That's really helpful for us to see.
All right, so let's move on with some updates on the document side of things. So I'm here in a proposal. One update that we have introduced is the ability to undo and redo your last actions. So for instance, this is a super basic example, but if I have changed the quantity of one line item, I can click the undo button or also the redo button to undo or redo my last actions quickly. And one other update that I want to share with you is that we have added a new column for a website link. So if you would like to share if you want to share the link to an item with your client, we now have a dedicated column for this. In case you have clipped this item with the clipper, this the column would be pre-populated automatically, but you could also change or add a new link simply by clicking into this box. So these are the newest updates for proposals, and now I'm handing it over to Katie.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Let me share my screen. Okay, so the first updates we have here are to 3D Floor Planner. So this is a great update that now you can finally create outdoor areas in the 3D Floor Planner. I know that's something we've been getting a lot of feedback on for a while. So you can see here, I have a finished 3D floor plan, so I can just show you what it looks like so you get an idea of what's possible with it. So we have all the products and features available that you would want to include when creating an outdoor space. So let's go back to the floor plan view. You can see how to get started. So up here in the toolbar, if you click on this tree icon, draw outdoor surface, that will allow you to create the outdoor surface. You just add whatever lines here. And then when you click on the space, it gives you the option to choose the material for the outdoor surface. So for instance, right now, this is part of the backyard, so we have some grass there, but you can also open up this outdoor surface library and choose what sort of pavement you might like, other ground covers such as stone or gravel. If this is a deck, you can add the type of decking material you would want here, or you could choose a pavement. So there are lots of options. And then one good way to check it out is to click on something you might want and then put it into dollhouse mode. So you can see how that material will look in the space that you're designing. So here is that little section I added. If we wanted to maybe put some stone in there or some brick, it gives you lots of options there. And then when you're back in the floor plan, if you want to update any of the products, click on one, for instance, you can go into our generic products and scroll down here to outdoor products. And that will give you a whole variety of products you can use here, including pools, hot tubs, sectionals, etc. So let's delete this here. Something else that you can do that's really nice is add a label. So if you want to say this is, the backyard, for instance, this is the pool deck, you can add it here so then it's easier for you to share with your client and reference what you're speaking about. Another update we've added is that you can now edit in dollhouse mode. So this is also something we've heard a lot of feedback on. So let's say you know, you don't want this chair here, you want to delete it. You can do it right from Dollhouse without needing to go back to floor plan. And then you can also rotate the products really easily. So this is a recent update we've released as well. You just grab here, and it's much smoother to rotate products than it used to be. Are there any questions on the outdoor features?
Yeah, one question just came up from Valerie. She's asking if you can adjust the font size of the label on the floor plan.
Oh, that is a great question. Let's see. It doesn't look like it, but that's a really good suggestion we can give feedback on.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then another feature that we've added to 3D floor plans is the ability to comment. So we've had this functionality built into a lot of our other features recently, and now you can do it in a 3D floor plan as well. So once the floor plan is shared with a client, you need to share it in order for them to comment or for you to comment. You just click here, send to client. You click on this icon up here, this little chat bubble, and then you can add a comment here like, to your client, what do you think of the chairs? And then you can tag a specific client here. You can also add in comments here for your team if you want them to look into something else, or if you've gotten any feedback that you want them to update. So it's a really nice way to better organize the 3D floor plans, and then make sure that as you're sharing them with your clients, you have a really streamlined way to keep track of any feedback that you're getting. Any other comments or questions on 3D?
No questions.
Okay, great. So now we're going to switch gears into our project management features. So we'll start with the schedule. So for those of you who are able to make the webinar on Tuesday, we had a really great in-depth session on how to use the schedule feature in Houzz Pro, and we'll be sharing that recording with you as well. But the schedule feature is something that we've recently updated over the last few months to make it really useful for you, both as a collaboration tool as well as a project management tool. And feedback we've gotten the entire time is that you want to be able to save your schedule as a template, because in a lot of cases, you're doing the same thing or maybe something very similar for each project. So you don't want to recreate the wheel. So now you're able to do that. For instance, if you're in a project, you can go here over to schedule. And let's say this is the schedule that I've been working on for my project, the Jones Residence. I've added in all the details and I want to save it to use on future projects as well. So you go up here to options, save as template. And then you can just choose a template name. So let's say this is our design overview. You can choose if you want to keep all the phases and items. Let's say I do, and then you create it. And then to access your templates, you can go here from the home page. Let's see. Let's find our schedule overview. Here we go. In this icon, you click on schedule overview. And under more options, you have manage templates. So here you'll see design overview, the template that you just saved, as well as Houzz Pro templates that we've created. So we have created some basic templates that you can use to get started, interior design with construction elements, without construction, and a full home remodel. So say that design overview template I just saved, I want to apply it to a new project. You just click on it, apply to project, and then you can choose, maybe it's a new project I have coming up or an existing project that you want to apply that same template to. And then it will create that schedule in the specific project using the template, and you can go in and make any edits or change the dates to make it more relevant for that project. Any questions?
Yes, one question came up about exporting. Could you quickly demo how to export a schedule into a PDF?
Yes. So you click up here on the options dropdown, and then here we have export as. So then since I'm in the Gantt view, you can choose to export the Gantt. If you're in the calendar view, you can also export that view and then choose the file format that you like, PNG or PDF.
Great, thank you.
Sure. And then you'll just get this notification that the export is underway. Okay, great. Another update we have here is to our notification options. So if you click here on settings and then notifications, you can now choose how you and your team members are notified about certain activities related to the different tools that you're using. So you can say, maybe I always want an email when something happens, or, I don't always need an email, but only if it's assigned to me or if I'm mentioned in it. Same thing with mobile. And then you can customize your preferences for each feature that we have. So maybe for tasks, you want an email every time something happens. Or maybe that's too often. Maybe you want one daily digest that updates you on all the tasks. Same thing for all of these, financial for estimates. So you can choose how you want to get notified and when, basically whatever is most convenient for you to make you feel like you're really involved and in the loop on what's going on without feeling totally overloaded with notifications. Okay, and then the last update we have here is to time and expenses. So now you're able to add time or an expense to an existing invoice instead of needing to create new invoices every time from separate time and expense entries. So this will help reduce the number of separate invoices that you send to a client. So when you're in time and expenses, you just click on the buttons on the line items that you want to include, and then up here, click Create Invoice. And then you can choose whether to create it from scratch, or if you click here, it will add it to an existing invoice. Then you just select the invoice here that you want to choose, and you'll see those will be added. And great. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this, and happy holidays. And feel free to reach out to myself, Desiree, anyone on our team with other feature suggestions, because that's really, how we make all these improvements. So happy holidays. Thanks again.